The Celtic Forever podcast is a zero advert and zero profit channel. The channel also includes Celtic highlights and player interviews, so join the uninterrupted fun and subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much.
One. Hi folks, this is the Celtic Forever podcast. I am Xander. John is with me to go through Celtic 4, Kilmarnock 0, convincing win for Celtic in the end. But first of all, we'll go through all the news and rumours surrounding Celtic as well. And we'll also have a wee word on the competition as well. So let's do that right away. We are going to have a midweek correct score competition, folks, even though Celtic aren't playing. So anybody that's in that league table, get your guess in for East Kilbride versus Celtic B even on Tuesday night, folks. So one guess each out of the comments, get it right, you've got yourself 3 points to win the fantastic prize come the end of the season. Big box full of Celtic goodies. If you're top, you will win that prize. So East Kilbride versus Celtic B on Tuesday night, one guess each out of the comments, get your guesses in for that. And as regards to the league table on Sunday there, the Kilmarnock game, Celtic 4, Kilmarnock 0. John, you got that right. Congratulations. I was raging with that, John. In fact, we said hello to you yet, John. How you doing, John?
I'm all right, I certainly wasn't raging.
Yeah, Yang finally does something productive on the park. Maybe I'm being a bit unfair. He runs into the box and gets a penalty with 4 seconds to go when I had 3-0 on the predictor. And so did many others, by the way, John. Many others had 3-0 on the predictor as well. I'm only kidding about Yang, by the way, decent young player. But John, you get it right, and so does Paul McComb gets it right also there. So there you go, John. That's you. Another 3 points on the league table, joint top. And Paul McComb moves up the table as well. As regards to the actual predictor, 1-1 against us two, John. I've had to go back the last 2 podcasts. And between the last 2 podcasts, we only got one right between us, John. And that was myself. I got the Rangers versus... who are they playing? Roma, John. 2-0 to Roma. I got that right. Apart from that, we didn't get any right. But we're going to do a midweek predictor as well a wee bit later on. Right, John, that's enough of that. That's plenty. We'll get into that later, as I say. Let's get into the news surrounding Celtic before we do the post-match reaction or a wee chat about the game on Sunday, because it's now Monday, John. It can't be a post-match reaction a day later. But we'll have a wee chat about the game. News, John, surrounding Celtic. Just a wee update on the manager situation. Ange Postecoglou has ruled himself out of the Celtic gig, John. He wants time away from the game after the fiasco at Nottingham Forest. But, you know, stranger things have happened, John. These are just rumours, I suppose. But Big Ange, he's ruled himself out. What do you think about that, John?
I don't know what to think about that. I quite fancied him to come back. I think the timing was perfect for it. But we'll just need to wait and see who we get. But I did fancy him for the role. I think he adds a lot to Celtic. Ange Postecoglou, his style suits Celtic. The constant attacking, I think it really suits Celtic. Obviously, the Scottish League isn't as competitive as the English Premiership, so the teams are not as good. So I think for Ange, his style really suits that, because a lot of the teams in Scotland can't cope with that constant pressure. It's quite saddening that, actually, because I fancied him for a return. But, you know, there's other candidates there that will do just as good a job, I think.
Yeah, Knutson's still up there as one of the hot favourites, John. Let's run through what the top 4 or 5 candidates is for the job so far. A new entry, it's like the charts, isn't it? A new entry into the hat for the Celtic manager's vacancy. Wilfred Nancy is actually the favourite now, John, at 13-8. He's appeared from nowhere. Not heard of that boy, to be honest with you. Knudsen still up there as well at 2-1. Martin O'Neill currently priced at 5-1, and Kieran McKenna currently priced at 10-1. 2-1 to land the Celtic manager's job. So there is some names out there. Nobody knows what's going to happen. Don't even think Martin O'Neill knows what's going to happen. Listening to his interview after the game, he says he's just going to take a few days break during this international break, John. So, but nobody actually knows for sure what's going to happen. So we'll wait and see. But as regards to Big Ange Postecoglou, my thoughts was I'd have loved to see the big man back at Celtic. John, he had Celtic playing some lovely football, trophy after trophy, very successful. And he's decided to take a wee bit of time away from the game. And I'm also hearing rumours that he's wants a job back in the Premier League as well eventually, but I don't know how true those rumours are, to be honest with you. Right, John, let's move away from the manager situation and let's have a wee look at this injury list that's forever grown at Celtic just now. Alistair Johnston and young Osman, John, both are having operations on hamstring tears today or tomorrow, so that's very serious injuries for both those lads. They're going to be out a wee while. And now Sarachi has pulled up with a hamstring injury as well, John. We don't know if it's a tear or not, but it's just not looking good. And all these injuries we're getting, John, they all seem to be hamstring tears and injuries and pulls and strains, and these can last a long time, these injuries, these hamstrings. I mean, just look at Johnston and Osmond having to go for operations on theirs. So they're going to be at least 6 to 8 weeks, John. But Sarachi, another one added to the list.
Sarachi, quality player, isn't he? He was outstanding again at the weekend. Then has to go off with injury, of course. But we're going to really miss him. I thought he was an outstanding left back, but the best one at Celtic anyway. And that's no taking away from Kieran Tierney, by the way. Wonderful goal at the weekend. We'll get into that. But I just think Sarachi just bombing up and down that line. It's highly surprised he's got himself a hamstring injury, the effort he puts in.
I mean, I hope it isn't a tear, John. We're hoping that he's going to actually be back maybe a week or so after the international break. We're hoping it's nothing too serious. But going by what Martin O'Neill is thinking, then he could be out for a wee while as well. It's unbelievable, John, all these injuries. A cursed season. It's looking like a cursed season so far, and it really is. Players dropping like flies. So that's actually added to the list anyway, John. Okay, moving on. Okay, dokie, John. Where will we head next? Where else but the game on Sunday, John? The Kilmarnock game on Sunday. Another convincing win for Martin O'Neill and the boys, John. Very convincing. Some nice football getting played there. You know, it's another home game. It's another game for Martin O'Neill. We don't know how much longer he's going to be managing at the club, but he didn't do a farewell wave or anything like that at the end of the game. So we're sort of hoping he's going to be in charge for the St Mirren game after the international break. So fingers crossed. But it was a goal from young Kenny again, John, in the 10th minute. Nice early goal, settles the nerves. Then another goal in the second half from Kieran, a belter of a goal from Kieran Tierney in the 51st minute. Daizen wraps the game up in the 85th minute with a beautiful through ball to Daizen, by the way, and nicely slotted under the goalkeeper from our Japanese internationalist, made it 3-0. And Engels, of course, gets that one that prevented me getting 3 points in the league table. Engels slots a penalty away in the 92nd minute, 4 seconds to the final whistle. And he buries it to make it 4-0 to Celtic, John. So very convincing, John. Very good win for Celtic there. And with Hearts dropping 2 points as well. We'll get into that a wee bit later as well, actually. But with them dropping yet another 2 points, you know, I bet they feel very foolish celebrating the league a couple of weeks ago against Celtic.
Aye, look, you can't go celebrating the league when the first round of fixtures isn't even over. That's exactly what was happening, you know. They're a couple of points ahead and they're celebrating, tears coming out their players' eyes and all that stuff. Look, I know we can sit and have a laugh about it. Like, Hearts are doing well in the league, right? We're not going to take that away from them. They're doing well in the league. I'd say good luck to them, but I don't like Hearts. I think most Celtic fans don't like Hearts. If it was anybody else at the top of the league, apart from Hearts and Rangers, I'd be really congratulating them, you know. Hibs, I'd be congratulating Hibs, even though I don't like Hibs either. But I'd still be congratulating because I like the Hibs fans.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've never forgiven Hibs for sitting back against Rangers 20 years ago, whatever it was, and basically handed them the league instead of putting in an effort against a team that was on their knees at that point. So I've never forgiven Hibs for that. But if Hibs were top of the league, I'd be happy for the Hibs fans. Put it that way. Any Hibs fans listening, I don't hate Hibs fans. I love you all. It's our brothers in green across the other side of the motorway there. So it's not to do with Hibs fans that. But I would congratulate Hibs. I'd congratulate Kilmarnock, St Mirren. Doesn't matter who it is. Aberdeen, Dundee United. I'd be happy for them. But I really, really don't like Hearts. Really don't like them. As much as I don't like Rangers, by the way, and that's gone some.
Yeah, and they equally don't like the Celtic fans either, do they? The Hearts fans. So, the feeling's very mutual into it. But, no, John, that brings us on to that game I spoke about 6 months ago. I asked the listeners if there's any footage of that game, the Hibs versus Rangers game, because it's been wiped from existence. I've checked everywhere for this game. Now, I know the game was shown live on TV, right? So it must be somewhere. The Rangers game, they played Hibs, and both of them were happy with the draw, wasn't it, John? The Celtic needed Hibs to win that game. That was away back in 2007, something like that. And it finished a draw, and both teams just passed the ball about without attacking each other. That footage has been wiped from existence. So if anybody has footage of that game, get into the comments, let me know to find out where it is, because I want to make a video about it. Anyway, John, I'm still going on about it. I can't let it go. Right, anyway.
Well, it's me that brought it up, and quite rightly bring it up. I've got to give a reason for no actually liking Hibs. And like I say, I've still not forgiven them for it. It comes out of my mind that every now and again how Hibs done that. And instead of helping the brothers across the other side of the motorway, they decided to sit back on a result that suited both teams. Bit selfish if you ask me, because they could have been on to win that game. But that's by the by. Let's move on. Okay.
Yeah, let's move on. So the Kilmarnock game, John, yellow cards for Daizen Maeda. An absolute dive by the Kilmarnock player. Yellow card there for Daizen. You know, this is what we're up against. That yellow card can come back and bite us, John. Daizen could end up with a suspension with that. I mean, the boy is just totally thrown himself to the floor, John. I mean, and Daizen gets a yellow card, and these yellow cards can't be rescinded, unfortunately, John. But, you know, surely VAR can have a look at that, you know, and I don't know, give him a yellow card as well for diving, John, because Daizen's nowhere near him.
Sadly, VAR can't look at that. That's the thing, isn't it? They can't look at stuff like that. I don't know what you can do about that. But surely if they take a look back at that, there should be a rule in place that if it's suspected as being a bit of cheating involved there, which there was cheating involved. Was it Brown? Was it Brown? The guy that...
I think it was Brown, yeah.
He jumps about 10 feet in the air with nobody touched him.
Yeah.
It's just disgusting behaviour. And... Daizen's got to sit on that yellow card. I just thought the refereeing again yesterday absolutely appalling by Don Robertson. That isn't a surprise I'm talking about that. Every time he referees a Celtic game, you're talking about something that he's done. By the way, going back to dodgy yellow cards and stuff, I watched the extended highlights. If you watched the extended highlights against Rangers last weekend in the Cup semi-final, which we beat them 3-1. That was 3-1, nice and easy. Anybody wants to go back and check out the highlights, as I've done about a dozen times since, go back and watch the highlights of that game anyways, and the extended highlights, I think it's about 15 minutes. And do you know that incident on Jack Butland? Apparently he got his head kicked into Rosetta, apparently. You know, Premier Sports never even deemed that fit to show that. That's how bad an incident, that's how poor an incident that was. Premier Sports never even showed it. That's how much damage was done to Jack Butland. Premier Sports have looked at that, went, nothing in that to see apart from a half-wit rolling about in the ground cheating as if he's been kicked off. But
yeah,
Premier Sports anyway, they didn't even want to show that. There was nothing in it.
Yeah, that's it. There's nothing in it. Everybody agrees with that, apart from the Blue Persuasion of Glasgow. But I go to it, John. Premier Sports coverage is quite good. That's the best out there. See your Sky, your TNT, and the BBC. Premier Sports seems to be the best, the most balanced, shall we say, most balanced opinions, the most balanced views, and the most balanced commentary. So yeah, they're quite good, and they realise that that's a nothing incident, John, and that's exactly what it was. Right, back to the game then, John. Pusey got a start here for Celtic at right back. Martin O'Neill wasn't over enamoured by his performance, but the Celtic supporters seemed quite happy with it, John, getting applauded off the park at the end. I think they were maybe just happy this boy got a few minutes under his belt. But what did you think of his performance, John? But Martin, wasn't he, wasn't he applauding him off the park, let's put it that way. But what did you think, buddy?
Players don't stand out, especially defenders, if they don't stand out as making a fool of themselves or giving the ball away and all that, then I tend not to really, if you're not paying attention to a player, is what I'm saying, then I think they've done a good job if you're not paying much attention to them. Defensively, I mean, he did his job pretty well, I thought. I thought the boy performed half decent. I wouldn't say he was outstanding. He wasn't getting forward and firing crosses into the box or anything like that. But he never did anything bad in the game, if you know what I mean. He seemed to perform and played his position on the part that he was given pretty well. Got to remember, he isn't a right back either.
Yeah, I think maybe Martin was a wee bit harsh there. I thought he'd done okay, actually, for his very first game for Celtic. He done very, very well, actually. Looked quite confident in the passing, looked quite sharp, didn't he, in the passing, and he can defend as well. So what more can you ask for? I know Celtic like to overlap the wing backs, John. So maybe they've never done that enough. I don't know. Okay, that's Pusey. He gets a run out anyway, so hopefully he can kick on from there. Martin O'Neill also spoke about the walk around at the end of the game. You know how Celtic players walk around the stadium when there's nobody there. Handful of supporters left in the stadium, they walk around and applaud, and I think it's a nice touch. But Martin O'Neill says obviously his Celtic team never ever done anything like that. Maybe a quick wave at the end of an away game if you win, a quick wave and an applaud, something like that. But times have moved on, I suppose, John. But Martin O'Neill doesn't like it. Maybe if Martin gets the job full time, that will be abolished.
I don't know. I like to see it right enough myself. I like it personally. Martin's got his own ideas that he would bring to Celtic. Other managers have got their ideas, but the last few managers at Celtic have done that. You know, the team walk around the stadium at the end if we win a game, applaud the fans. It's always a nice touch. Don't see why I should stop it. It's not doing any harm.
Yeah, I agree with that, John. I quite like to see the smiles on the players' faces. Gives you a wee idea of the atmosphere at the club, and there was plenty of smiles after the Kilmarnock game. Right, John, so nothing really else to talk about. A few nice goals, clearly. The pick of the bunch being Kieran Tierney's, and Daizen's was very nice as well. What was your pick of the four, John? You've got Daizen's, Kieran's, and Young Kenny's, and of course the penalty. You're not going to pick that. So it's a choice between Daizen's and Kieran's, I suppose.
I like to see people that score goals celebrating. I didn't like Daizen's attitude after he scored, you know, just walking away with his head down. I don't like to see that when players score. I like to see players celebrating every goal, because rest assured, if we were playing Kilmarnock and they'd scored that goal, they'd be celebrating like they'd won the World Cup. And so in that respect, I like to see Celtic players behaving in the same way. Celebrate like it's a World Cup every time you score a goal. I just hate seeing that. Players just... I love Daizen, by the way. I'm not getting on Daizen's case, but if you're going to score a goal, celebrate it, enjoy the moment with your fellow teammates. Guys were running up to him and giving him a hug, and he just was not interested. So for that reason, my pick of the bunch is KT's.
Yeah, a lovely goal, wasn't it? What a strike from outside the box. Yeah, mine as well. Although the through ball for Daizen's was absolutely stunning. I can't even remember who was it played that ball, to be honest with you. Was it? Who was it that played that ball? I can't even remember, John. Was it Rio that played the ball through? I think it was, wasn't it? Anyway, what a pass anyway. Okay, a quick wee word on the starting lineup, John. There was no place for Engels at the start, no place for Nygren, no place for Ralston. Tierney was on the bench also, but it was also good to see Maeda on the bench, John. So the wee man is at least on the bench. I suppose we've got no choice at the moment. He's our only other striker at the club. But the wee man gets his run out. So as I say, John, Puzzi gets a start. McCowan also got a start in this one, John, as well. So good to see McCowan getting a start as well. But let's quickly run through some stats in this one before we get to the 1 to 10 individual player rankings. You against the BBC, John. That's what we'll do. We always like to do that against one of the media companies. And we'll stick to the BBC this week. But a few stats before we do that. 75% possession to Kelly's 25. 21 shots to Kilmarnock's 3. 1 save for Casper to their goalkeeper's 4 saves. 8 corners to 7. So they were attacking quite a lot in this game, John. Kilmarnock, 7 corners they got. 21 shots to their 3. 0 offsides for Celtic to Kilmarnock. Well, Celtic were caught offside 3 times. Kilmarnock weren't caught offside any. 702 passes to 232 Kilmarnock passes. 205 of those passes were forward out of that 700. So not as forward flowing as we normally are under Martin O'Neill. And yellow cards, John. 2 yellows apiece in this one. Right, so let's get into some of the 1 to 10 individual player rankings, John, starting with the goalkeeper. What are you thinking, buddy?
I was, while you were talking there, I was thinking about Jeremy Kyle, who I mentioned earlier. I was thinking why he lambasted the Celtic fans. It was when the Queen died, wasn't it? That's what it was. The whole country was on Celtic's case at that time. Anyway, that's Jeremy Kyle. He's always been a total walloper anyway. Why anybody would want to watch him, I don't know. But anyway,
as they are this week, John, the whole country's on our case. It's a nonsense, actually. You know, it's a nonsense. If you don't agree with something, you don't agree. If you do it, then you do. There's no need to lambast the club like that. Anyway, John, we don't want to get political on this podcast. Let's get into these 1 to 10 scores, buddy.
That's as political as I get. Jeremy Kyle was a walloper. You can't argue with that. You know what I mean? That's just a fact.
That's a fact, already. Yeah.
Anyway, markings for the team. Kasper Schmeichel. He did have a save to make. He did pull off a save, so he did have something to do, and his distribution was good all day as well. So, you know what my scores always is for that. He did everything he had to do and did it well, so he gets a 7.
Yeah, 7.1 for the BBC and a clean sheet as well, John, wasn't it? Right, Trusty.
A couple of wee iffy moments for Big Trusty. They still performed pretty well though. Still solid enough performance from Big Trusty. Gets a 6.5 for me. Yeah,
7.1 for the BBC. And Big Liam, John, he was back in at centre half. What did you think?
The Colossus. Again, another defender I'm going to give him the same as Trusty for this one. I just think central defenders, they were hassled a wee bit by Kilmarnock, I think. I think Kilmarnock played pretty well, to be honest with you. I'll give him a 6.5 as well.
Yeah, 6.8 from the BBC. So quite close so far. Then we had Puzzi on the right, John, at right back.
Aye, well, he's not a right back to start with. So you've got to take that into account. I didn't think he did anything dreadful in the game. He wasn't an outstanding player, but I thought he did all right. I'll give him again 6.5.
Yeah, 6 for the BBC, John. 6. Pretty harsh on the boy, if I'm being honest, isn't it? 6 for his debut. And over the other side, John, we had Sirachi and then Kieran, but we'll score both of them just now, John. Sirachi first.
Sirachi was outstanding before he got took off. He really, really was. I'm watching him going, where has this guy been? He's got to be a regular starter for Celtic when he's fit. I know he's only on loan, but is he Italian? He's not Italian, is he? He's got an Italian name, but
no, he's not Italian. I can't remember what nationality he is, John. But there is an option to buy for Sirachi, John. So that's good news.
Oh, he's outstanding. He's absolutely outstanding.
Yeah.
And the time he was on the park, every time he was on the ball, I get excited watching that guy. I think he's, if Celtic get the chance to buy him, snap him up. He's a class act. I'm giving him an 8 for the time he was on.
Yeah, 7 for the BBC, John, for the time he was on. Obviously, that's bearing in mind he got taken off injured. And Kieran, John, what did you think of Kieran?
Kieran came on and done a good job, but you could still see that Celtic had lost something when Kieran came on, even though he scored a goal. I just think Celtic look like they've lost something from the team when Kieran starts. Look, Kieran will get better. Kieran hasn't played a lot in the last couple of years, but he will get better. He definitely will get better. We know he's a class act, and he will get better. But for the time he was on and his goal that he scored, I'll give him a 7.
Yeah, 7.1 for the BBC, John. So, decent performance for the wee man. Callum, John, the captain, what are you thinking about him?
Had a few difficult moments again, Callum McGregor. I thought he kind of struggled a wee bit in certain parts of the game. Kilmarnock, big physical team, right enough. Like I keep saying about Callum's role in the team, it's a hard role to play in that, but it's surrounded by players. And I think he performs that well 95% of the time. Saturday, he didn't have a bad performance, he didn't have a great performance, but I'm going to give him a 6.5.
Yeah, 6.9, John. These scores are quite close, aren't they? So far, anyway. Excuse me. Rio in the midfield, attacking midfield.
Maybe I'm being a wee bit mean with my scores, but I'm just being honest, you know what I mean? What I seen on Saturday, I thought the whole team was running about that kind of between 6 and 8 kind of score. But Rio, again, didn't have his best game. Maybe Callum slightly edged him a wee bit, but I don't like to be too mean on Rio. I'm going to give him a 6.5 as well.
Yeah, he got a 7 from the BBC. Who else was it? That played? McCowan, John. When did McCowan started this one? How did you think he got on?
Again, nothing outstanding. He never did anything outstanding. He was kind of invisible to me, Sander. I'm going to give him a 6.
6.5, John. These scores are very close so far, aren't they? But I suppose you can only go by what you see, and the BBC are the exact same. Okay, let's get to the forward line. We'll start with Tierney on the left.
Huffed and puffed. I think Kilmarnock, obviously, they're drilled to stop wingers getting into the box. Obviously, there's 3 players around them every time he's got the ball. It's very hard for a winger. It's a hard job. But he did get through a few times and get the crosses in. I thought he did okay. No his best performance, of course. And again, I'm not going to give 6.7s and all that. I just stick to, I'll either go 6, 6.5 or 7. So it's either, you can make up your own mind if you're favouring the high side of the 6.5 or no, but he's getting a 6.5 as well.
Yeah, 6.8 from the BBC. And final, no final, because we've got Kenny to do as well. On the right-hand side, Daizen Maeda.
Again, no a fantastic performance, lovely goal, and I hate that when players don't celebrate goals. But he was chasing back and he was getting in amongst the Kilmarnock players as well, which I like to see. Fighting performance from him. I just wish he would have celebrated his goal, but I'm not going to include that in my markings. 7 for Daizen.
7.2 for the British Broadcasting Company, John. So Kenny up front, John.
Nice poacher's goal, of course. Wasn't getting that much service. Very hard when you're Kilmarnock defending like Lions. I don't mean the player Lions, who's a disgrace to Kilmarnock, by the way, diving out of the park. Johnny Kenny, half decent performance, in the right place at the right time for his goals. 6.5.
7.2, John. He's one of the highest scoring as regards to the BBC, the British Broadcasting Corporation, John. He's getting a 7.2. He's their man of the match, which brings us on nicely to the man of the match, John. What's your thoughts there?
Well, he wasn't on for long, but when he was on, it has me off the edge of my seat, and I know something's going to happen. Sriracha, even though he get took off early, Sriracha, I don't care. He's just an outstanding player. He's a guy that gives his all for Celtic. I feel confident when he's on the park. He's just an outstanding player. I really hope Celtic get him up on a full-time contract, Xander. He was outstanding the time he was on, and we're going to miss him. Hope he's back in time for the next game against St Mirren. I doubt it, but for the time he was on the park, and right now he's my favourite Celtic player, him and Big Trusty, I think. But for the time he was on the park, outstanding performer, Sriracha.
Yeah, there you go, John. Sriracha is your man of the match. Fair play. He's a brilliant left back, and he really is. And he's getting better and better. It's just so unfortunate he's picked up that injury. So hopefully a few weeks. But
it seems a bit kind of weird. Maybe he never played for that long. But look at what he did in the time he was on. He was terrifying Kilmarnock. Absolutely terrified of him they were. And that's what I like to see in a player, is the confidence. And he's got confidence in himself, and he fills me with confidence. And I'm sure he fills a lot of Celtic fans with confidence. So who was your man of the match?
Don't know, John. Goal scorers normally get these sort of decisions, don't they? It's hard to tell. I think the whole team is a sort of a similar level of performance, wasn't it? So it's hard to... I'll give it to one of the defenders, I think, because of the clean sheet, just to be different. Normally give it to the goal scorers, Daizen, whoever, John. But I'll give it to Big Trusty, just because of the clean sheet. And he's back in the team, John, and fair play to Big Trusty. I think he's playing brilliant just now with Big Cameron Carter-Vickers out of the team. So I'll give it to him, just to hopefully he's listening, he can boost his confidence a wee bit. Right,
definitely,
John.
Aye, he's definitely doing well, Big Trusty. The last few games he's played, he's been outstanding. We've not really missed Carter-Vickers, to be honest with you.
No, that's true, John. That's true. He's stepped in there brilliant, hasn't he? And it's going to be a long time before Vickers is back anyway. He's out for the rest of the season, I think, personally. But so it's just as well he's playing well. That's the way I look at it. So next up for us, John, is St Mirren, as you say, a week on Saturday. St Mirren and Hearts, John, they play on the Sunday, so it gives us a chance to close that gap. Obviously, St Mirren is going to be very, very tough for us. Away to St Mirren is tough for anybody that goes there. But it is a chance, John. It is a chance to close that gap even more on Hearts. I think it's sitting at 7 points just now, is it? With a game in hand and a chance to close the gap, John. Playing before Hearts on the Saturday as they play on the Sunday.
Aye, well it is. And it wasn't hard for Hibs, by the way, to turn over St Mirren. They dispatched them absolutely no problem. I watched that game Saturday night. But Hibs were outstanding that night. So look, St Mirren are a great wee team. They really are. I've liked what I've seen from them so far this season, and we'll have a hard job in the final. But anyway, I just had this. I wrote these down earlier. The fixtures, all the fixtures up until the end of the year, basically right up until the end of December, between Hearts and Celtic. The fixture list, if you want to hear where Celtic could potentially claw this lead back.
Yeah, go for it, John.
So the next game for Celtic, obviously, St Mirren away from home. Tough game. Hearts next game, away to Aberdeen. Now that's a potential banana skin for Hearts.
Yeah.
Right, so Celtic could go to St Mirren and turn them over. No saying we will, but we could. It's not very easy to predict a Celtic result right now, as we know. But Celtic could go to St Mirren and turn them over. It wouldn't be the first time we've done that. We've done that a ton of times. It depends who's in charge at Celtic as well. But Hearts away to Aberdeen, Xander, potential banana skin right there.
100%, John, 100%, especially with Aberdeen turning the corner slightly. And Aberdeen, the BBC called it, John, what was it they said about Hearts' form just now? A Hearts drop-off, they've called it, John. So hopefully that drop-off continues against Aberdeen.
Well, I hope so. It's one of the games I've penned in as a possible banana skin. And after that, the next game for Celtic is away again to Hibs. Two very tough away games. So we're away to Hibs. Celtic could turn them over. We know Hibs took a draw off as the last time we played them. But on the top of the league, Hearts, they're away to Motherwell that day. Another potential banana skin.
Absolutely, John. But that Celtic Hibs game is going to be very tough for us. we just hope we've got some of our boys back from the operating table, if you like, for these games. St Mirren and Hibs, two very tough fixtures for us as well, John.
Very, very tough. Anyway, I'm just looking at potentials where Hearts could drop points, and they could drop points in that one. Celtic can look after themselves in these games. We'll wait and see. The next one is Hearts are at home to Kilmarnock. I'd imagine they would win that one. And Celtic are at home to Dundee.
Yeah, it should be okay there. Should be okay.
And then the next game is Celtic's game in hand against Falkirk away.
Tough, very tough again. Falkirk, John McGlynn, battling performance every time he sends that team out onto the park.
Oh, sorry, it's no Xander, it's actually Hearts next. So we've got St Mirren, Hibs, Dundee, then Hearts at home. So we've got Dundee at home and Hearts at home. Well, Hearts are playing Motherwell away and Kilmarnock at home.
Yeah.
So there is potential there. And then we've got our game in hand after we play Hearts.
Yeah, we could be top of the league by that point. But with any luck, John, that's getting me excited here.
Well, I'm just looking at the fixtures. The rest of them is after Celtic, Hearts have got St Mirren at home, Rangers at home, then they're away to Hibs and away to Falkirk. Two decent teams. Falkirk sitting third in the league right now. They were third on Saturday anyway. I don't know about right now. But Celtic's a lot of away games, Sander. A heck of a lot of away games. We've got away to St Mirren, Hibs, Falkirk, Dundee United, Livingston and Motherwell.
It's a very tough season, especially with half a team. John, we have to play these fixtures with half a team, but we've just got to play the games that are on the calendar, John. We just hope some of these guys are back for these games, to be honest with you.
Well, out of our next 9 games, we've only got 3 home domestically.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, very tough, isn't it, John? Very tough. Is that right, John? Out of 9, 3 home games? That's very poor, isn't it?
3 home games against Dundee, Hearts and Aberdeen.
Yeah, and the tough home games, Aberdeen and Hearts at home, they'll be tough as well. All right, John. Makes it very exciting, I suppose, doesn't it? All right, John, thanks for that. Thank you very much for that. As I say, there's a wee chance to close the gap the next time we play against St Mirren anyway. And Hearts, they're on a downward spiral, so long may that continue. Right, John, we do have a midweek predictor. There's only 2 podcasts this week, today and Friday, so we're going to do a midweek predictor. And it's all based on the Challenge Cup, John, the B teams in Scotland in the Challenge Cup, because we're in the middle of this, or the start of this international break. And obviously the 3 points in the league table, John, is the Celtic B against East Kilbride, away to East Kilbride in the Challenge Cup. We'll start with that one, John. It's for the league table and our 1-1 predictor. It's for both. And by the way, it's 16-8 currently, John, as it stands. 16-8 to you, so you're still miles ahead. But we'll start with East Kilbride versus Celtic B on Tuesday night, John. What do you think, buddy?
They get beat, didn't they, heavily?
Yeah.
Against Clyde Bank, was it?
Yeah, 4-0.
Yeah. Don't know much about East Kilbride. I know we played them in the Scottish Cup a few years ago. I'm going to go for a East Kilbride win, 3-1.
I'm going to go Celtic this time, John, 2-1. Kind of going conceding goals like that. The management team there should surely get that sorted out for the next game. But it's for our competition anyway, John, and everybody else that's in that league table. Get your guess in for that one guess each into the comments. East Kilbride versus Celtic B to get yourself further up that table. All right, John, we'll move on with the Challenge Cup in midweek. All these games are being played Tuesday and Wednesday. The next one up for us to guess on, it's just a guess, remember, we know nothing about any of these teams whatsoever, but it's Hamilton Accies against Rangers B. John, what do you think?
Like you says, I don't know anything about any of them. I've seen Rangers B a few times playing Celtic and stuff, but I don't religiously follow the B teams, you know. I'm not really that interested in it.
Yeah.
Unless it's Celtic, of course. But I'll go for a 2-0 Hamilton.
3-1 Hamilton Accies. Moving on, Inverness Cali against who is it they play? I'll go back to that one, John. This one interested me actually. Celtic Hearts against Hearts B. John, what do you think, buddy?
3-0 to Celtic Hearts.
3-0 to Celtic Hearts.
Aye.
Right. That's hard to predict, isn't it, John? Really, I don't know how good or bad these B teams are. One each in that one for the Battle of the Hearts, if you like. Okay, moving on. Montrose against Hibernian B.
Montrose against Hibs. I feel like I fancy Montrose for that. I've been to watch Montrose. Thought they were alright. Is it Montrose's ground?
Yes, it is, John. It's up in Montrose, yeah.
Alright, Lynx Park.
Yeah.
I'm going to go for a Montrose win in that case. I'm going to say 4-1 to Montrose.
4-1 to Montrose. Hibs B, yes, so tough, isn't it? Yeah, 2-0 to Montrose, sorry. And back to that one, I can read my own writing because I wrote Inverness against Inverness. It's actually Inverness against Dundee United B. John, what do you think here, buddy?
Inverness B against Dundee United B.
Yeah.
No, I'll go for a Dundee United one then. I'll go for a 3-2 to Dundee United.
All right. Okay. Just sorry if you're hearing rustling because I'm writing these things down. I'm going to go 2-0 to Inverness Cali, John. Okay. Arne Athletic against Kilmarnock B, John.
But you did say it was Inverness B team against Dundee United B, aye?
No, it's Inverness, John, the full Inverness team.
Right, the full Inverness. See, I thought you said the B team.
No, full,
right,
full
so
team.
If it's a full Inverness against Dundee United B, I'm going to go 5-0 for Inverness.
Oh, 5-0, right, okay. Fair enough. All right, John, and Arne against Kilmarnock B?
Arne against Kilmarnock. I've been there as well. Arne Athletic, been to Derby Stadium. About
All right.
5 rows of seats and one stand. I'll go for an Arne win to win 2-0.
Arne to win, yeah. Going for all the A teams then, John. Like beating the B teams, and I'm going to stick with you in that one as well. 3-0 to Arne in that one.
Yellow seats, by the way.
Is it? Right, okay.
Nice wee stadium, actually. Artificial pitch, but there's only one stand from memory. And it's just like 5 rows of seats, 5 or 6 rows of seats on one side of the stadium. But it was quite new, quite fresh, you know. Plastic pitch and that.
Yeah, fair play to these wee teams, John, isn't it? Right, okay. And lastly, in the predictor for the midweek predictor, is Stranraer, John, the A team, against St Mirren B team. What's your guess for that, buddy?
Stranraer, that's a name I've not heard for years. Where are they playing these days?
I don't know, Stranraer.
Well, I know they're playing, but what league are they in? Do you know what league they're in? I couldn't tell you, to be honest. I need to check that. Well, I'm guessing I need to check that before I give you a result for that one, because I don't even know where Stranraer play.
Yeah, the thing is, John, you can change your mind anytime you want. Just leave it in the comments as well. You know, I can change my mind to leave it in the comments, but we normally stick to what we say. But no, I've not got a clue what league table they're in, John.
They play
lower division anyway, isn't it?
I'm just checking where it is they actually play. The Scottish League 2.
There you go. Yeah, quite low down.
And who is it they're playing again?
St Mirren B.
Scottish League 2 against St Mirren B. If St Mirren B is anything like St Mirren A, I fancy St Mirren. But I'm going to go for a Stranraer narrow win, 2-1.
2-1 to Stranraer. It's a fair old trek, Stranraer, isn't it? I'll say, I'm going to go for my first B team one here, John. 2-1 to St Mirren. All right, that wraps it up. That's the predictor, done and dusted, midweek predictor. That'll be quite interesting, actually, isn't it, John? I quite like doing this, to be honest with you. Okay, quickly run through some of the results. over the weekend. Everybody already knows the results, but let's quickly run through it because that's what we're talking about. Falkirk 1, Livingston 1. Good draw there for Livingston. St Mirren 0, Hibernian 3. That's the one you were talking about earlier, John. A very convincing win for Hibernian. And then into the Sunday games, we had Aberdeen 1, Motherwell 1. Had draw written all over it, that one, didn't it? Dundee 0, the Rangers 3. 3-0 win for the Roman. Hearts 1, Dundee United 1. Again, brilliant result for Celtic. And of course, Celtic 4, Kilmarnock. Now, right, John, that wraps it up for us for the day. Obviously, Scotland play later on in the week. They play Greece on Saturday. And then we're at home to Denmark on the Tuesday. So, a couple of good results there. John sees us into the World Cup.
Aye, but I look forward to it, actually. I know Scotland's sitting at the top of the group right now. And like you say, a couple of wins. Are they top of the group? Oh, my memory's gone. I'm sure they're top anyway.
Yeah,
but a couple of wins would be lovely. It's kind of mission impossible, isn't it? Really, when you look at the fixtures. But look, nothing's impossible. Anything can happen. Scotland have got a wee bit of a lift with their last two results. Aye, they could do it. They could do it. I really hope they do. I really, really do hope they do that. By the way, Celtic ladies won 9-1 at the weekend. That was one of my score predictors for a couple of years ago, wasn't it? Celtic ladies to win 9-1.
Yeah, that's right, John. You got it right. Who were they playing? Do you know?
It was Montrose. This weekend, I don't know who they were playing. Academy. Was it Hamilton?
Yeah, great result anyway. Yeah, 9-1.
I think it was Hamilton Accies they were playing, but 9-1. That's what you call a scalping, isn't it? Remember Celtic beating Aberdeen 9-1 a few years ago?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that's. We didn't stop. We didn't stop after 3 or 4. Old Ange went it. That was his catchphrase. We never stop. That's what that should be coming back. If you're going to be honest, isn't it, John? That catchphrase, we never stop. That was absolutely tremendous. Right to the 95th minute every game. Attack. Right, John. Call it a day there. No time for comments, I'm afraid. Not time for comments. Appreciate you coming on, buddy. Don't you want to quickly have a few mentions or something like that, John? You want to do that?
If you want, I wasn't expecting to do comments, but I'll just get the video up of the podcast for the last podcast we done.
Yeah.
You heard the music there. Big shout outs to Dom. How you doing, Dom? Thanks for your comment.
Cheers, Dom. Cheers, pal.
Peter Hendry, who predicted 2-0. How you doing, Peter?
Peter, thank you very much, Peter. Unlucky with your guest, pal.
Paul McEwen, how you doing? Paul, won the club since 1888. How you doing, pal? Paul McComb, who got the correct result. Well done, Paul. He's up the top of it. No, he's not up the top of the table. It's Meat's up the top of the table. And I hope when you put that league table up on that screen, I want to see John CFC right at the top. Where I belong.
CFP is.
I see CFP, John CFP. That's me right at the top there, along with the big guns, Roseanne and Collins.
Yeah.
Big hitters, and they're big hitters.
Yeah, the big hitters are up at the top there, aren't they? And I should have been up there as well with that last second. Anyway, John.
Do you know what? I was actually thinking about that when I was watching the Celtic game. I was thinking, I can't believe it. I says, well, at least Sanders got it right. So that'll be him up to 6 points. Roseanne's got it right as well, I was thinking, because she picked 3-0. I was thinking Roseanne's going to be in 12 points. That's going to be impossible to catch. And up steps Yang, a nice wee dive. Right into
That's right, a nice wee dive. It was lovely. And Bossman A also said 3-0, John. So there you go.
Everybody's saying 3-0. But there you go. Aye, right at the top of that league, Sander, where I belong, you know.
Top place, yeah. Right, John. Anybody else? Any other mention?
Aye, a shout out to Roseanne. She left a couple of nice comments. Thanks, Roseanne. We've no time to read them all out. Sorry, but she did mention young Osman's injury, which she says it's unreal. But aye, it is unreal, Roseanne, because we were looking forward to seeing him. Yeah,
a brilliant wee player, John. I just gutted for the boy. I really am. It's just because his usefulness and how good he looked, John, and now we've lost him for a lengthy spell with the looks of things.
Aye, sheer enthusiasm, wasn't it? It's a shame for the young boy. My heart goes out to him, and we hope he comes back soon. Anyway, moving on from that, Xander. Chris D says 5-0 unlucky, Chris.
Yeah, unlucky. 4-5. Yeah, it was never going to be 5, was it? Unlucky, Chris. Anyway, pal, keep your guests coming in for that East Kilbride game.
Aye, Colin Stewart, he said 3-1, I think Colin says.
Yeah, 3-1. Yeah, unlucky. Yeah, unlucky. It's hard to predict, it really is. Especially when there's players diving in the box, it's impossible nearly.
A lovely dive from Yang, beautiful.
Picturesque.
Beautiful. A picture of beauty sends me right to the top of the league. Delighted. Colin says 3-1. Collins is starting to slide down that table.
Yeah.
Anyway, unlucky Collins.
Yeah.
Roseanne as well. Anyway, thanks Roseanne for your comments.
Yeah.
Alison Timpany. How you doing, Alison?
Yeah, Alison. Thanks for the comment, pal.
She thinks give Shin a chance beside Daizen. Couldn't agree more, actually.
Yeah, totally agree, actually. Yeah, give him a chance. He's going to have to do it now, because all I've got is Kenny, so he's going to get his chance. The boy will get his chance.
Kenny's outstanding right now, though. Let's move on to another comment. We would never sell our club. How you doing, pal? One of our regulars who's, I think, on 3 points right now. I'm not sure.
Yeah, one club. Always gets her guests in, didn't she? Always bang on time. No delays. No chasing up. Get your guests in for the East Kilbride, pal.
Someone else's nostalgia. How you doing, pal? Someone else's nostalgia says 2-1, which is... I kind of fancy Celtic for a bigger score than that, to be honest with you, Xander. I fancied quite a big result for Celtic, hence I got it right.
hence, yeah. He's sitting at the bottom of the league table. They're actually going to move him up a couple of places, actually, because he doesn't deserve to be at the bottom. He's been close a few times, actually. So, but yeah, bottom is bottom, I suppose. 0 points is 0 points.
Close isn't enough. You've got to stick the ball in the pocket to get these points, you know what I mean? I've worked hard, so has Collins and Roseanne.
Yeah, get your guess in. Nostalgia for the East Kilbride game. Have a wee look at it. Have a wee look at the forum of East Kilbride. There's plenty of time. The game doesn't kick off till Tuesday night. Have a wee look at the forum and then get your guess in, folks.
Someone else's nostalgia will be up all night sweating, you know what I mean? Waiting cups of coffee and all that, getting back to it, doing these maths and try to be up there with the big guns like me.
No, you're being over exuberant with your 3 points there, John.
It's just good to be at the top again, because I was there for a while. I was up there with me and Roseanne, and then Colin started sneaking in, making an appearance, getting 3 wins in a row or something like that. But I mean, Collins and Roseanne, I don't think we'll be moved, to be honest with you, but good try, everybody.
Yeah. I'm going to do my homework on East Kilbride as well, actually. I know I've already said my guess, but I can change it as long as it's before the kick-off, so we'll wait and see.
Fat Boy 67 thought 3-0, unlucky, mate.
Very unlucky, yeah.
James Doran. There's no score there. I know he put his score in. I must have scrolled past it. How you doing, James? Good to see you. I'll read out your score in a minute.
James didn't say 4-0. Just the 3, John. They got the 2, sorry. They got it right. Yourself and Collins. Yeah, but keep the comments coming in, everybody. Really do like to read out these comments. It's a main part of our show, if you can call it a show. The programme.
It wasn't Collins that got it right.
Oh, it was Paul, sorry, yeah, it was Paul. But Paul's up there with Collins now, actually. He's up there. What's he on now, John? Is it 6 points?
6. Paul's on 6, but Collins is on 9, Xander.
Yeah, it's close. It's very close. There's still a lot of games to go. All right, John. We'll call it a day there, if you don't mind.
Donegal Doll, by the way. Donegal Doll, give her a wee shout out, because she's always there with guesses. She loves it as well, Donegal Doll. She's not on the board yet, I don't think, but she thought 3-0.
Did she say 3 as well? Did she? So it's very, very... I mean, that would have been 4 or 5 it got it right, John, if it wasn't for that dive. Right, okay.
Beautiful dive. Loved it.
Yeah, I bet you did, and I bet you Paul was the same. Right,
yeah, I'll tell you what, see, before you say, right, John, let's call it a day, I'll tell you exactly what happened with that, right? I thought the game's over, 3-0. Roseanne's at the top of the league by 12 points, and so is Collins. I think Collins says 3-1. But I thought Roseanne was going to be at the top with 12, and I'll go and make a coffee. And just before I got up, the penalty was given. I couldn't watch it because I'm thinking this is a potential 3 points for me right at the top of the league. Honestly, I want to win this. I know I can't win the prize, but I want to win the league because I don't stand for second best.
You'd never get a job as a Rangers manager then, would you?
Oh, no chance. Champions every season.
Second is best for them. No, John, that was a good guess. 4-0, perfect actually, and well done to Paul as well. Getting that, it's very difficult to get 3 points, as we all know. Right, John. As I say, we're not back on until Friday. We'll be back on Friday to have a wee chat, John. There's no Celtic, there's no proper football, if you like. We'll just have a wee chat about some stuff. We might even have a manager by Friday. You never know. But thanks for coming on, John. That was quite good today. Up and upwards for us, John. I know we've got these injuries, and it's sort of it's like an anchor round our neck into these injuries. It really is. We can't go into these games on full confidence because of it, John, because the team as a squad is totally stretched, but we're doing quite well considering, let's be honest, Europe aside. Right, John, we'll catch you on Friday, buddy.
I'll catch you Friday, Xander. Hail, helmet.
Thanks for coming on, John. Appreciate that. Thanks, everybody, for your comments. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We'll see everybody back on Friday. Hail for now.
The Celtic Forever podcast is a zero advert and zero profit channel. The channel also includes Celtic highlights and player interviews, so join the uninterrupted fun and subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much.